Hey there, and welcome. Today we're going to jump into the single most important building block in all of programming. I'm talking about variables. If you can master this one concept, you've pretty much unlocked the foundation for building almost anything you can imagine with code.
So think about this for a second. When you're playing a game and your score goes up, or you log into a website and it greets you by name, how does the computer actually remember that stuff from one moment to the next? It's not magic, I promise. It's actually a really simple but incredibly powerful tool that we're about to break down.
Okay, let's dive right in. The big question, what exactly is a variable? Well, to get our heads around it, we're going to use a really simple analogy that has nothing to do with code at all. We're going to think about storage boxes.
And it really is that simple. Just think of a variable as a box. It's just a labeled container sitting in the computer's memory, and its whole job is to hold one piece of information. You give it a name so you can find it again, and you put something inside. That's the entire idea in a nutshell.
Honestly, that's the core of it. Before we even think about touching a single line of code, just let this picture sink in. You get a box, you slap a label on it, and you put something inside. Every single thing we do from here on out builds on that one simple action.
Okay, so we've got the idea down. We've got our mental storage box. Now let's see how we actually bring that box to life using a little bit of Python. In Python, making a variable is just a simple three-step dance. First, you choose a name for it. That's the label for our box. Second, you use a single equal sign. Now, don't think of this as math. It's not equals. Think of it more like an arrow that says, put this thing inside. And third, you give it the value, the actual piece of information you want to store.
And just like that, boom, you're looking at your very first variable. Player name, that's our label. The equal sign, that's our instruction to put something inside the box. And Alex, well, that's the information we're storing. With this one simple line, we've told the computer to remember a specific piece of data for us.
And of course, you can store all sorts of things in these boxes. Here, we're storing a whole number for a player's score, some text for a welcome message, and even a number with a decimal for an item's price. The logic is exactly the same for all of them. You give it a label, use the equal sign, and provide the value.
And this is where the magic really kicks in. From now on, whenever our program sees the label player score, it doesn't just see the letters. It looks inside the box and it sees the value 100. That name is now a direct stand-in for the data that it holds.
All right, now let's get to the most important part of all, the why. We know what variables are and we know how to make them, but why does this simple little idea completely change the game for anybody who writes code?
I mean, it's a fair question, isn't it? Why go through the trouble of creating a labeled box called player score when you could just type the number 100 everywhere you need it? What is the big deal here?
Well, here's the big deal. Variables basically give your code superpowers, and there are 3 of them. They make your code reusable, you write the information once, and you can use it everywhere. They make it readable, player score tells you a lot more than just seeing the number 100 floating around. And most importantly, they make it dynamic, which means the value inside the box isn't stuck there forever. It can change.
Let's just look at this side by side. On the left, without a variable, the name Alex is written out over and over again. If the player wants to change their name, you'd have to hunt down and fix every single one of those. But now, look at the right. By using our player name variable, the actual name Alex only exists in one place. Everywhere else, we're just pointing to the box.
So here's the crucial point. When our player decides they want to be called Maria instead of Alex, on the right side, we make one single change right where the variable is created. And just like that, every message in our program updates instantly. That is the power of efficiency and flexibility. And that really brings us to the core truth here. This isn't just some little trick for Python. This is a fundamental concept for all programming. The simple ability to create a labeled box, store some information, and reuse it is what allows us to build complex, dynamic, and useful software.
So now you get it. You've seen how to create your very first variable, this absolute fundamental building block of code. The only question left is, what are you going to build with it?